Hi, I'm Wayne. Welcome to my third video. In this lesson I'd like to show you how to play songs in different keys using what's called a key chord chart. I'd also like to do some more strumming, some chord variations, a bit more finger picking, and what's called lead guitar. But just before we do that, we'll tune up and we'll start with the 6th string, the E, 6E. 5th A, 4th D, 3rd G, 2nd B, and the 1st E. Every time you play a song on the guitar, it is in a key. And if you look in the booklet that comes with the video, you'll see what's called key chord charts. And it shows you different keys, and in each key there are 7 chords which fit together to make up a key. What I'm going to use is the example of the key of C. So if I play the chords in the key of C, it goes C, D minor, E minor, F, G, A minor, B flat, and in actual fact you can use another chord called a B minor 7 flat 5, and what that looks like is your first finger is on the 5th string at the 2nd fret, your second finger is on the 3rd string at the 2nd fret, your 3rd finger is on the 4th string at the 3rd fret, and your 4th finger is on the 2nd string at the 3rd fret, and you only play 4 strings. It sounds like this. So you can either play a B flat or a B minor 7 flat 5. Now what we're going to do is start with a C chord and play some of the other chords in that key and end on a C chord, and that will be a chord sequence in the key of C. So just as an example, for example, if I said I'm going to play a C chord, an E minor, a D minor, and a C. So I'll just do that now. So starting with a C, E minor, D minor, and back to C. As another example, I'm going to do another chord progression. I'll just pick some chords at random. I'll say a C chord, an A minor, an F, G, and a B minor 7 flat 5, and end on a C again. So I'll just play those. It sounds like this: C, A minor, F, G, B minor 7 flat 5, back to C. So the idea is play around with that key, the key of C, and try the different chords yourself, and also try the other keys that are in the booklet as well. By using a combination of strums, for example the down strum, the mute strum, where we're muting the strings, stopping them from ringing with our right hand, and the up strum, we're going to do some new strums. Now with the up strum this time, instead of just flicking the 1st and 2nd strings as we have in the previous videos, what we're going to do this time in some of the strums is flick 3 or 4 strings. With the first strum that we'll do, what we're going to do is a combination of mute and up. It's going to be quite simple. We're going to just do a mute to start with, and then an up strum. And remember I said with the up strum we can now strum 3 or 4 strings on this particular one. What I'm going to do as well, we'll be in the key of E minor, and I'm going to use an E minor chord, a C chord, a D chord, and an E minor again. So using the E minor chord, I'll just demonstrate the strum. It's going to go like this. So the mute, and then the up. So we'll do that 4 times in a row. And so I'll do it with the chords now. E minor, C, D, E minor. With this strum, I'll be in the key of A minor, and I'll show you the chords first because there's quite a few of them. It's going to start with A minor, E, G, D, F, C, D minor, E, and A minor. Now the strum itself is going to go down, down, up, mute, down, up. And I'll just demonstrate that. So it goes down, down, up, mute, down, up. Now I don't know if you've noticed, but on this particular strum, the up strums, I'm just doing little flicks rather than hitting 3 or 4 strings. So it's down, down, up, mute, down, up, down, down, up, mute, down, up. So I'll do it with the chords now, starting with A minor. E, G, D, F, C, D minor, E, back to A minor. In the key of D for the strum, the chord sequence we're going to use this time is D, G, B minor, A, and back to D. Now I'm just going to play the D chord to demonstrate the strum. And the strum this time is going to go down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up. So I'll do that again. Down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up. Now this time with the up strum we're only doing little flicks as well. So I'll start on the D chord. G, B minor, A, and back to D. With this last strum, I'll be in the key of E, and the chord sequence I'll use will be E, F sharp minor, A, and back to E. Now the strum itself, I'll demonstrate with the E chord, and the strum itself is going to go down, down, up, 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 down, up. So I'll do that slowly. Down, down, up, 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 down, up. Now in this case, the ups we can do 3 or 4 strings when we come back. So it's down, down, up, 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 down, up. So I'll do it with the chords now, starting with the E. F sharp minor, A, E. In this section I want to show you some variations on commonly used chords such as C, D, G, F and A. So we'll start with a C add 9 chord. To play a variation on a C chord, what we're going to do is play what's called a C add 9. Now the easiest way to do this is to actually put your fingers on a G chord first. And what we're going to do is leave our third and fourth fingers where they are and actually just move our first and second fingers across or down, depending which way you're looking at it. Our first finger and our second finger just moving from the 5th and 6th string down to the 4th and 5th strings. And so a C add 9 is like this. It sounds like this. Just strum 5 strings on this. So if I go back to the G, C add 9, G, C add 9. Now here are two variations on a D chord. First one we're going to do is what's called a D2. What you do is you put your fingers on a D chord and just very simply lift your second finger off the string, the first string, and play that again, play 5 strings. So here's a D and a D2. Now putting our fingers back on a D chord again, what we're going to do now is a D F sharp, and that means a D chord with an F sharp bass note. Now if you leave your third finger where it is, move your first finger up to the 6th string, 2nd fret, and your second finger across to the 3rd string, 2nd fret. This is called a D F sharp. So a normal D sounds like this, and a D F sharp. A GB chord is a G chord with a B bass note. Now the easiest way to play this is to put your fingers on a normal G chord and now take off your 2nd and your 4th fingers, which leave your 1st and your 3rd where they are, and just play 5 strings. So a normal G sounds like this, and a GB. With an F major chord, what we're going to do is start with an F chord, which normally has your first finger across the 1st and 2nd strings at the 1st fret. But what we're going to do with this, to make it an F major 7, is not cover the 1st string with our 1st finger and just leave it what's called open. So it sounds like this rather than... So an F major 7 chord sounds like this. An F chord sounds like this. And by leaving the 1st string open, F major 7. Finally, an A2 chord. The easiest way to do this is to put your fingers on a straight A chord. And all you have to do is lift your 3rd finger up off the 2nd string. So it sounds like this. So an A chord, lift your 3rd finger up, an A2. Just as a quick reminder when you're finger picking, just going to remind you that your thumb hits the 6th, the 5th or the 4th string, your first finger hits the 3rd string, your second finger hits the 2nd string, and your 3rd finger hits the 1st string. So without playing a chord on my left hand, I'm just going to go 6, 3, 2, 1. as I go along, every time I mention a bass note, it's going to refer either to the 6th string, the 5th, or the 4th, which your thumb is going to play. The first pattern I'm going to show you is bass note, 3rd string, 2nd string, 3rd string. And we're going to be in the key of G, so I'm just going to demonstrate this with a G chord. So it's bass note, in this case with the G, the 6th string, 3, 2, 3. Now the chords we're going to use are G with the 6th string bass note, D F sharp with the 6th string bass note, C add 9 with a 5th string bass note, D F sharp with a 6th string bass note. So it goes like this: G, D F sharp, C add 9, D F sharp. Now this pattern will go bass note 3, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2. Now I'm going to demonstrate with an A minor chord because the chord sequence we're going to do is in the key of A minor. So it goes bass note 3, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2. Now the chords we'll use are D minor with the 4th string as the bass note, G with the 6th string as the bass note, C with the 5th string as the bass note, F major 7 with the 4th string as the bass note, B minor 7 flat 5 with the 5th string as the bass note, E with the 6th string as the bass note, and A minor with the 5th string as the bass note. So starting with the D minor, sounds like this. G, C, F major 7, B minor 7 flat 5, E, A minor. With this pattern, we're going to start using 2 strings together, and in this case we'll use a bass note and the 2nd string together, and as a variation a bass note and the 1st string together. Now I'll demonstrate this with an A chord. Our chord pattern's sequence is going to be in the key of A, and our pattern's going to go bass note and 2nd string together, so you play them together, so your thumb and your 2nd string hit the strings at the same time. Then it's going to go bass note, 3rd string, 2nd string, bass note. So just putting that together. Now just as a variation on that, what you can do is instead of using the 2nd and 3rd strings, you can use the 1st and 2nd strings. So our chord sequence is going to be A and A2. And we're using the 5th string as our bass note. Our next chords are going to be D and D2, and you can use the 4th string as your bass note and swap over to the 1st and 2nd strings as your other strings that you use, and the E chord, and you can just play either of those patterns on that particular one and back to the A and the A2. So I'll start off with A. It sounds like this. A2, D, D2, E, A2. Finally, with this sequence, this finger picking pattern, what we're going to do is start off again with the bass note and the second string together, and we're going to do a sequence in the key of C. So I'll use a C chord for this. So we'll go bass note and second string together, bass note, third string, first string, bass note, third string. So putting it together, it's going to sound like this. Now with the sequence in the key of C, we'll do a C chord with a 5th string bass note, a GB chord with a 5th string bass note, an A minor chord with a 5th string bass note, a G chord with a 6th string bass note, F major 7 with a 4th string bass note, C again with a 5th string bass note, D minor with a 4th string bass note, G with a 6th string bass note, and C with a 5th string bass note. So starting with the C chord. G, B, A minor, G, F major 7, C, D minor, G, C. In this section, I'm going to show you what is known as lead guitar playing by using a scale, and in particular what's called the minor pentatonic scale. Now we're going to start off by using the A minor pentatonic scale, and the easiest way to find this is to find the A note on the 6th string, which is at the 5th fret. So starting with this note here, we're then going to play the note on the 6th string at the 8th fret, string at the 5th fret, the 7th fret 5th string, the 5th fret 4th string, the 7th fret 4th string, 5th fret 3rd string, 7th fret 3rd string, 5th fret 2nd string, 8th fret 2nd string, 5th fret 1st string, and 8th fret 1st string. Now what we do if we string these notes together, then this is known as the A minor pentatonic scale. Now you can play this in other keys as well, just by moving the bass note. So instead of starting on the A note, if we started on another note, and we can use the same pattern. And the minor pentatonic is best over blues music, rock and roll, rock, or heavy metal, or metal. Now just before I give you a demonstration on the A minor pentatonic scale, I'm going to show you some techniques that you can use to give more flavour to your playing. Now one of these techniques is called vibrato. Now what you do is, using the notes in the A minor pentatonic scale, I'm just going to choose one of these notes, and in this case on the 2nd string at the 8th fret. Now when I hit this note, instead of just hitting the note, I'm now going to hit it and use what's called vibrato. Now, there's two ways you can do this. One is you can hit the note and push your finger up and down, so it sounds like this. Now, the other way is moving your finger side to side, and you sort of literally shake your hand. Now, one of the other techniques you can use is called bending. In this case, I'm playing the same note on the second string at the 8th fret. But when I hit this note, I'm going to put my other fingers on the frets below that 8th fret. And when I hit this note, I'm now going to push the note up with my all three fingers. Go like this. So you can do that on other notes in the scale as well. One of the other techniques is called hammering on. And in this case, what I'll do is I'll start with a note, in this case on the second string at the 5th fret. And what I do is I don't play the next note, but I hammer my finger onto the same string on a different fret. And in this case, the second string 8th fret. So it'll sound like this. So that's called a hammer on. Now the opposite of that is called a pull off, and I'll start on the 8th fret on the second string this time and pull off to the 5th fret with my finger already placed there. Now you can do any of these techniques, vibrato, bending, hammer-ons and pull-offs, on any of the notes in the scale. Now while the backing is playing, I'm going to use the A minor pentatonic scale. The first time through I'll just play the notes of the scale. The second time through I'll use vibrato and bending. The third time through I'll use vibrato, bending, hammer-ons and pull-offs. Now, just as the minor pentatonic scale works best over blues, rock and roll or heavy metal or metal songs, there are times when it's better to use what's called the major pentatonic, especially over country, pop, ballads, middle of the road or jazz songs. So to get the A major pentatonic, what we're going to do is start with the A minor pentatonic. We're going to shift this whole pattern down 3 frets. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3 down to the 2nd fret where our first finger is going to be starting. And we use the same pattern. And this is now called A major pentatonic. Now it also applies to all the other keys as well. For example, if I went up to the 7th fret of the 6th string and played that, that could be B minor pentatonic. And if I move that whole pattern down 3 frets, it becomes becomes B major pentatonic. So A minor pentatonic, down 3 frets, is now A major pentatonic. Well, thanks for watching my third video. I hope you enjoy it and get a lot out of it. Remember, just have lots of fun with it. Take your time, rewind, go back through the tape through things you need to watch again. And I'm going to leave you with a blues in G. And we'll see you next time. I forgot to turn the thing on, didn't I? That helps. Now, just before I give you a demonstration on the A minor pentatonic scale, I just want to mention about Roger sneezing in the background.
Oh, at least I wasn't cheating. I wasn't cheating. Tank.
Bass note, third string, first string, bass note, third string. So your bass note is going to be played 3 times in this. I can't even follow my own instructions. This is my band, by the way. Get out of the way so they can see it.
It's a rubber band. Oh.
Thank you very much. I can't do it, Captain! of it. Remember, just have lots of fun with it. Take your time, rewind, go back through the tape through things you need to watch again. And I'm going to leave you with a blues in G, and we'll see you next time. That's it.
Yes!